and welcome to Round Robin. I'm your host, Robin McCormick, and today we're going to be talking about a very special holiday event that you and your family might want to attend. I have two guests with me, both named Mike, from the Hampton History Museum. Welcome, Mike McGrann and Mike Cobb. So first of all, we're just going to recap for a second. Part of the reason you have a Christmas tie-in at the History Museum, Mike Cobb, is?
Well, the reason we do this is because we commemorate the first Christmas in America. And of course, it's very different from what we celebrate today. But on a stormy, cold, dreadful night in 1608, the redoubtable Captain John Smith, who was in charge of gathering food for the struggling, starving Jamestown colony, comes in a small boat with a few men and lands on the banks of what today is the VA hospital, and encounters the Kicquetan Indians under Chief Pochins. And they are welcomed by the Indians and entertained that night in the dry, smoky houses of Kicquetan, as Captain John Smith would later write. And they were fed oysters and deer and other delicacies. And they had a very merry time with the Indians in a desperate moment when they really needed it, which is, and I guess if you really look at it, is the real meaning for Christmas. And that is why we thought we'd commemorate that on this event, First Light.
And so at this First Light event, now hopefully it won't be a cold and stormy night, but it is in December, and it'll probably be a little nippy.
Right.
And you're going to have some warming events for us. Tell us about those.
Well, as the settlers and the Indians gathered in warmth and community, we're going to be doing that at the 5th annual First Light celebration. It's going to be held just before the holidays parade in downtown.
Which is so wonderful, because then people can come.
Exactly.
And it's not just a parade where you stand there and then you watch it and you go home. This is really almost a festival.
It is.
Half a day long kind of thing.
And we want this to become a holiday tradition for people. It's going to be a great family event. You can claim your spot on the street for the parade.
Leave your chairs.
That's it. Then you can come over to us, and the great folks at Cracker Barrel are going to have food. The Grey Goose is bringing over some punch. We'll have hot cider, but also you can do karaoke Christmas caroling.
Now wait, karaoke Christmas caroling,
Exactly,
really?
Exactly. We're going to have a huge screen out front that's going to project some of your old favorites from the holidays, and people can gather and commune and sing these together. I think it'll be a great nostalgic sort of trip for a lot of people, as well as for the kids. We really want to introduce them to some things they may not have experienced before. One of them being an 11 by 46 foot train display of vintage Lionel O-Gauge trains.
Oh, wow.
From the O-Gauge Society of Tidewater. So these guys are putting together a really elaborate, the sights and sounds of a lot of vintage trains. We're going to have antique toys and dolls also, which will be a great thing. I can picture grandparents and parents saying, I played with that.
See, isn't that neat? And that's neat for those generations to share their stories.
That's
especially
it.
around the holiday times. Whatever your stories might be, it connects those generations.
And the Hampton History Museum is an important vehicle and chronicle of that. I think, a lot of what we do is recording oral histories throughout the year, each month. We have opportunities for people to come in and tell their stories on different subjects. But we're going to have Santa and Mrs. Claus there, and so kids might get a little prize or treat from the jolly old elf and his wife. We also are going to have music by Bob Zentz, so that's another thing.
Kind of a folky
right,
Christmas.
And he's
more
also going to
old-timey feel.
Exactly, and he's going to bring in lots of different instruments for the kids to try and see. So there's going to be a lot of interactive, hands-on things going on at this event. And then we also have our galleries open. So, for instance, what Mike was just talking about, you can come in and see a recreated Powhatan Lodge. You can also tour the rest of the galleries during this period. And then after you've done that, we want everyone to go back and enjoy the parade. And this is something we look forward to doing each year.
Wonderful to do that in connection, so it's that extended event. Now tell us the date and the time, if you would, Mike.
Okay, it's December 8th, that's a Saturday, and we're going to be having our event from 5 to 7 p.m., or 5 to 6 p.m., and then at 7 p.m. is when the parade actually starts.
Okay, so it is a good idea then for people to go, put your lawn chairs down,
Exactly.
get your spot along Settlers Landing, and walk just about 1 block back
Right.
to the History Museum, warm up,
Right.
have a little cider, get that holiday feel, and a little of that multi-generational family feel as well. Are there costs involved in this?
No, this is going to be a totally free open house event. So bring your friends, neighbors, and kids and enjoy it at the History Museum.
So a good chance to sample the History Museum
Exactly.
for free, and then maybe come back later and go into a little more depth.
Right. That's the idea. We also have a wonderful gift shop, as you know, and there's
Also, people could do a little shopping.
little shopping. We've got some great books, some by Mr. Cobb that people can buy for the history lovers in their life. It's a great gift also to give to people in other states and out of town so they can learn and appreciate what we have here. We also have things for the kids, artisan-made jewelry and home decor pieces too. So
Great. And your first light, you have that sort of trademarked star that is your symbol of this, right?
And we'll be lighting that star that evening so people can see the downtown Hampton Christmas really kick off at the Hampton History Museum.
That sounds wonderful. I look forward to seeing you there, Mike. This
Thank
should
you.
be even bigger than last year's celebration, I think.
I expect that it will, and we'll probably grow with more activities each and every year.
That sounds wonderful. Well, thank you both for coming by, and think about, adding this to part of your holiday tradition. I know the parade is also on TV for those of you who don't get out, but if you're worried about staying in the cold, you can go get warm and have a cup of hot cider at the History Museum. Thank you.